All right, welcome back to Scott Ferrell Show. Thank you so much for being part of my day. Hope your Monday's going well. As I promised, I have one of the greatest wedding planners on the planet. She happens to be located in Las Vegas, Nevada. If you're ever out there to see Elvis in a show, go by and see her. Why? Well, only if you want the best wedding ever planned on the planet do you want to meet her. Gabriella, Cote, thank you so much for being part of the show today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, I'm looking at your bio. We've been friends for a little while, and I've never seen your bio. And I was like, wow. It's funny. I do this for a living. I interview. A lot of times I end up interviewing my friends, but you guys are always the best in the industry, and I never, ever look at your bio till I have to interview you. And it's like, wow. And she really did. She did that, and she did that, and wow. So I want to go through some of this before I get to how to have the best wedding ever.
Okay.
All right. What was it like? And I know you served in the armed forces. So how many years were you in the armed forces?
7 years.
Okay. What was that like?
You know, it was an amazing experience. When I was brought up old school. My grandparents raised me. And my grandfather would sit down with me at night and tell me stories of when he was in the Army back in World War II. And I was so inspired by all of his stories that at 17 years old, I decided, well, I'm going to enlist in the Air Force. And it's so funny because at 17, you had to get a parent consent, which they had no problem doing. And as soon as I graduated high school, I had my last summer in New Jersey, and I was off to San Antonio, Texas in September. So at 18 years old. And I don't regret any part of it. I was stationed all over the world and in the United States. And it was something that I wish anybody who was getting out of high school and didn't know exactly what they wanted to do and really wanted to experience life, boy, I tell you, the Air Force or any armed services will do it for you.
Yeah,
I grew up.
Yeah, and you had such an amazing life with that, and you got to live overseas. And then you and I have a common friend, Colonel Steve Soroka, who's also employed in Las Vegas. He's, the head of the Chamber of Commerce in Las Vegas now?
Yes, I believe so. I believe so.
Yeah, Steve is featured in my last book. I always wanted to introduce a colonel to the world, and I was able to do that. Now, you take your military experience, and you served in the military. You've also got 4 adult children.
Yes.
And you got an interesting story with that because they weren't necessarily raised in the United States. What country were they raised in?
Well, 2 were raised here in the States. They're on the East Coast, the New Hampshire area. The other 2, which is Erica and Dee, were raised in Iceland. I lived there not only, when I was serving my country, but also as a civilian.
And people always confuse Greenland and Iceland. Which one's the pretty one?
Iceland.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Yeah. It's so beautiful. I've seen the photos that you've talked about. So you've got 4 adult kids. You've got 2 raised in the States, 2 in Iceland. Now, when you were in Iceland, did you start your wedding planning career in Iceland, or did you wait to get back to the States?
When I got back into the States. Yep. In Iceland, I was just a housewife, just trying to learn the language for 4 years and raising 2 beautiful children. So my hands were a little full then, and when I came back to the States when I got here to Vegas is really truly when I started my career.
Right. So you get to Vegas and you get there. How did you decide? All right, I'm a military girl. I'm a mom. I'm a stay-at-home mom for a little while. I've come back to the U.S. and I'm gonna plan weddings.
It was kind of by chance. So before coming to Vegas, I was a commercial electrician's apprentice. That's what truly I wanted to be when I grew up.
Right.
And when I got to Vegas, I decided, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to find, a 9-to-5 office job, sit behind the desk. And I really didn't know what I was going to do. And I decided to go to a temp agency. And I asked them, please just place me someplace until I can figure out what I'm going to do. And they just happened to place me, of all places, at the Rio Hotel in the wedding chapel as a receptionist.
Wow.
I'm telling you, the rest is history. I could not believe it. I had never done weddings before, ever. And this was back in 2002. And I started up sitting at the desk as a receptionist and meeting and greeting all the brides and grooms that came in. And I absolutely loved it. There's no better way to start your day with a bride and groom exchanging vows, and
Right.
being part of their happy day. So it's been an amazing journey.
So you go from the Rio and you got your feet wet there, and you somehow, over the course of all this, you've done over 2,500 weddings, and you end up at
Yes.
Caesars. What was it like?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that would just be amazing.
Caesars is, I would say, by far one of my most favorite casinos of all time. It is old school, and to me, it still has that old school charm. And now they celebrated 50 years,
Right.
but they keep reinventing themselves. And I tell you, where the Rio for me was high school, Caesars was definitely a university in educating me with weddings.
I can only imagine. How many weddings does Caesars do per year?
Oh my gosh. So now there's where I worked was in catering, so I did a lot of the wedding receptions or the bigger weddings that could not fit into the chapel. So the chapel alone can do anywhere from 10 up to 15 weddings a day.
Wow.
And that's all year round. So yeah, they start, I want to say 9 o'clock in the morning and go to in the evening. And you can have a wedding all over Caesars in their chapels, because their chapels are really beautiful, as well as on their grounds and their pool area.
Wow. All right, we're getting ready to go to break. I've got to have you stay here. We got to talk about this, and I want to talk about what you got going on now. How can they find you? What's your website?
Say I Do in Las Vegas, or Say I Do in LV.com.
Oh, sweet. That's kind of catchy. SayIDoInLasVegas.com. That's pretty sweet.
Yep.
And you only get Elvis for an extra charge, so don't worry. But you do get Gabriella, which is the magic potion. All right, when we get back, we're going to ask her what Caesar's finished up like. Now, she's got her own place now. She's got her own boutique shop. We're going to figure out how to have the best wedding for the best dollar from the best experienced person that I could find in this business. I'm Scott Ferrell. She's Gabriella Cote. We'll be right back.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine.
El Rey.
El Rey and Ellijay.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
The summer sell-down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell-down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Welcome back, Scott Ferrell Show. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. I hope your day's going well. You got your coffee, you got your tea, you're out of traffic, you're sitting at your desk, you're sitting at home relaxing. Oh yeah, this is about relaxation because we're talking about a very relaxing topic, planning weddings. Don't you feel that relaxation? All right, Gabriella Cote is my guest extraordinaire of weddings in Las Vegas for the last 13 years, done over 2,500 weddings herself.
Yep.
Gabby, thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we talked about Caesars. I got to ask this question. 16 weddings a day in Caesars, 365 days a year. How in the world did you keep up with all that?
With great organizational skills,
wow.
Alcohol, coffee for sure. You got to have coffee. From the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed. Yeah.
Wow. It just blows my mind that you were able to pull that off.
Yeah, I'm surprised myself. But you know what? When you get into a rhythm, and not everyone's wedding is the same, you still have those same elements, which, and being in the industry for so long, you know what things work and don't work with a wedding and how to really streamline things. Of course, never, ever missing a beat as far as the different elements of that particular bride and groom's day.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine dealing. It's hard enough to deal with one bride on one day when I go to a wedding. You've got 16 a day. And that's 16 mother-in-laws. And that's 16 moms. All stressed out to the max because what we've alluded up to, the best day of your life.
Yes, and then also you have sometimes moms and maid of honors that are living vicariously through the bride. So it does put a little twist on things, and they just really want the best for their child. And we totally get that as wedding professionals. We understand that, and we also take that in consideration when we're doing the planning process. We never leave family out.
Wow. All right, let's get to the important stuff now. You've got your own shop. What's your website again?
SayIDoInLV.com.
I love that. SayIDoInLV.com. Let's say I'm getting married. I'm 25 years old. My wife and I to be are going to get married. We're coming to you. What in the world can we expect? What's a dollar figure we might be able to use, and where would we get married?
That's a good question. You know what? First and foremost, I think with any couple, they really, really need to know how much money they want to spend on a wedding. A lot of times they don't know where they begin because it's their first time getting married.
Right.
And you really need to sit down as a couple or whoever is contributing to the wedding and figure out that first and foremost before you start going and looking, because things do add up. And I run into a lot of couples that don't even have that information. And then when you start looking at photographers, looking at venues, they get very overwhelmed. So first and foremost, when I sit down with the couple, I want to make sure that they have a budget and that they have an idea of how many guests they want to attend. and if it's going to be realistic with the budget that they have.
Right.
So those two things are really, really important. So basically what a wedding planner can do is a wedding planner is there to make the couple's life easier in all aspects, as well as to save them money, take the stress out of the experience so that they can really enjoy it as a couple, because you're pretty much letting the wedding planner control everything. And the wedding planner is also their champion, meaning that they're there and to make sure that the couple's vision is executed. Working with vendors, working with venues, working with caterers, all of that. They are their protector, basically.
Wow. Busy job, stressful job, it sounds like on your end, because your jobs take the stress off of theirs. Now, you're also the managing partner of Vegas Private Dining. That's the concierge service. What does that do? Does that help you get them to the right venue for dining?
Yes. I found we found the need to have a concierge service for restaurants because there's over 300 on the Strip alone.
Wow.
And many more coming, and some going, unfortunately. And what ends up happening is I have brides and grooms and brides and brides and grooms, let's not forget that, that want either a rehearsal dinner or they don't want a big wedding reception. It's a small wedding, maybe 50 people or less, and they just want something casual in a fine dining venue. So that is how Vegas Private Dining comes in.
What's and I'm out of touch with this now. That's why you're on here, because you're the expert. What is the average wedding, and I'm saying average, not craziness, cost these days?
$28,000.
Wow. What was it when you started? What was the average when you started? Do you remember?
Oh my gosh, when I started, it was about 24 to 25,000. So, although it hasn't gone up, people have become more educated these days, so they know how to get the best value for their money.
Wow. All right. I just watched the movie Girlfriends of Weddings Past, whatever, Matthew McConaughey. Have you ever had a family member knock the cake over?
Oh my God, no, I passed out. I would have to cut somebody. No, I hadn't come close. But no, I think the most devastating thing for me that happened at a wedding was when I had a minister announce, the couple to be, and he hummed through their names. He said, Mr. and Mrs. because he couldn't pronounce their names. I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, he just did not do that, because it's on video.
Right.
That was probably the worst.
So that was like 4 weddings and a funeral when he can't get bunted and their names right. That's always nice. So nobody's knocked over a cake. Okay, let me ask you the next question. Any family fights? Any slugfest?
Absolutely. Always happens. Absolutely. Always happens after cocktail hour, after the first dance, when more alcohol has really been consumed within that first 2 hours. Family really feels like they don't really like one another, and dad decides he wants to take a swing at the groom.
At the groom?
At the groom. So what ends up happening is everyone gets involved. Security was called. Even the ladies in their beautiful floor-length gowns were duking it out with security. Of course, we had to shut the wedding down. I mean, I know as a bride, I would be so destroyed at that moment that happened. And then you have to shut down the wedding and kick everybody out.
Oh my, that's pretty good. That's something you see on those shows, Funniest Moments. Wow. What's the romantic thing you've experienced?
Oh, wow. The most romantic thing that I have experienced is when a bride, when I have my couples exchange letters to themselves prior to getting married. So it's on their day, maybe they're getting their makeup done, maybe the groom's just kind of sitting in his suite, and they're reading their letter from each other. Oh my goodness. Just the words and that expression of love and the excitement of seeing each other right after reading that letter and knowing that they're going to be married to their best friend, that is priceless. I encourage every couple to write that special letter and to take that time before they get married to read it. And that is truly what weddings is all about, those exchange of words.
Wow, that is really cool. All right, let me have your website one more time.
SayIDoInLV.com.
All right, we've got about 2 minutes left. What is the advantage to getting married in Las Vegas versus anywhere else in the United States?
The advantage to getting married in Las Vegas is Vegas can offer you a one-stop shop, meaning that you can get rooms for your guests, you can get great ceremony and reception venues, sometimes in the same location. They're going to package everything for you, so you really don't have to think of too much. We're going to offer you some great venues that are outdoors, indoors, by water, and it's the level of service as well in Vegas that words can't even express, from the environment, from the setting, from the floral. And there's so many vendors here that are dedicated to make that couple's day special. And I'm talking professionals that have been in the industry for 10 to 20 years. They have this down. So Vegas can offer an entire experience, and they don't have to leave to go someplace else for their honeymoon. They can have it all here in Vegas, and all their family and friends can enjoy that with them.
Very cool. Now, is Vegas the #1 destination for weddings still?
It is up in the top 10.
Okay.
It is up in the top 10. I'll be honest about that. Mostly overseas has come back. Arizona has come up to the top 5. So, yeah.
Okay.
We're trying to get our #1 spot back, and we're doing a good job.
All right, and you're the reason it's going to hit #1. All right, Gabriella Cote. She is the owner of Intimate Weddings by Gabriella. She is a boutique. What's that mean? That means she's going to do it the best way, the best way for you to make it the happiest day you've ever experienced. Gabriella, thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, take care. All right, she is the one to call if you've got a wedding in Vegas, or if you want to be a consultant. If you need, you live in Georgia, and you need consultation on how to do it right, give her a call. Yeah, it's an hourly fee, but it's worth every single penny. All right, when I get back, I'm going to go back to the mailbag. Questions at scottferrell.com. 706-889-9700 is the number if you want to throw me a text, or head on by Facebook, like our page, and drop some questions on us. I'll be right back.